Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. I'm back out in the wetlands, and my goal today is to photograph some waterfowl. I'm actually out today with my Nikon Z6III instead of my Z9. Typically the Nikon Z6III is my backup and my vlogging camera. It's typically what I'm recording myself on, but today I'm out using it as my main camera because it is a capable camera for bird and wildlife photography. So I'm going to be talking about the settings that I use on this camera specifically for waterfowl photography, and we'll see what we can get. I'm out. It was supposed to be cloudy today, but as you can see, it's blue sky and it doesn't look like there's going to be any clouds. So we're going to see what we can do. I'm hopeful that we'll have some activity still. Right now I set myself up on a little secluded section, and there's some wood ducks that are out there, some mute swans, and there's also at least one blue-winged teal, which is a species I've never seen and photographed before. So I'm really excited, and hopefully if we sit here long enough, they'll come a little bit closer and we can get hopefully some usable photos and videos of them. But we'll just have to wait and see for that. Now for setup wise, I love getting really low to the water level when I'm photographing waterfowl. So I have my tripod in the water. I'm as low as I can go. I can probably get a little bit lower, but I'm happy with this here. And really just the low angle helps you just kind of make the ducks stand out in the photo, which is really what I like to do. But since we're waiting for things to come a little bit closer, I want to just talk about the settings on the camera that I have set up and the things that I really like about it. So there's a lot to like about this camera. It's a very capable camera for both stills and video, but specifically for video. There's a reason why I use it for my vlogging setup. Now the one thing I really like about this camera right off the bat is the fact that I can set it up and customize it exactly to match my Nikon Z9, which is really important for me because a lot of times when I'm using this camera, I am using my Z9 as my main camera, and if I want to get something more wide angle or something with a different lens, I can just switch right to this camera, and having it set up the same way makes it so that the transition from my Z9 to this camera is really seamless. I know exactly where my fingers need to go. All the buttons operate the same thing. So that's the one thing I really like about it. So just kind of right off the bat in photo mode, I have my record button set up and customized so that when I press that, I'm able to cycle through the different autofocus modes. So I can just quickly do that. It's the same way I have on my Z9. It's just a really easy way. My finger doesn't have to move too far from the shutter button, and I can just tap that and then scroll through the different autofocus modes. And I also actually have the front FN1 button customized for that same function as well. Because this is my vlogging camera, that FM1 button is really easy to hit with my thumb and then be able to turn the dial when I'm having it facing towards me. But that's really the main thing that I have customized. I have my iMenu set up the same way as my Z9, so I have all of the different things that I want to customize right there. Quick and easy, I know exactly where they are, and I can easily switch through things that way. But it's really nice to be able to have a camera that I can have all the settings the same. And one thing that's really important for waterfowl photography is the fact that you can put your camera down low to the water and set yourself low, and you need to have that flip out screen. So this camera has that flip out screen, so I'm able to get really nice and low and water level to get some really nice low angle shots of the ducks on the water. This one obviously has the screen that flips out to the side, which is important for me. That's why I got it for the vlogging setup. But I do prefer the screen on the Z9 and the Z8s. But again, I wouldn't have this camera if it didn't have that screen because I need it for vlogging. So there's that. Now, an important thing to remember, especially this time of year, and it's going to be tough today to get some decent photos, is it's still early spring, so the nights are still really cold, but with the sun out in full force like it is right now, there's going to be a lot of heat distortion on top of the water because the sun's going to be coming, warming up the surface of the water, and that's going to make all of that kind of mirage on top of it. And you can really see it in some of the videos that I'm trying to get here, especially in the background. It's just like a wavy sensation in the photo. And that just gets magnified when the animal's farther away. And when you're using a higher magnification, if I'm using teleconverters and that sort of thing, it's just gonna magnify that effect on the photos. So it's gonna be tough to get some decent shots. Hopefully the ducks will come close enough so that it kind of eliminates some of that distortion, and I'll still be able to get some good images. Well, I just had the closest encounter with the blue-winged teal yet, but it wasn't that great for photos. The light is still really harsh. It was supposed to cloud over by now, but it's not, and it was still really far away. So it was a good encounter, but it just wasn't good for photos yet. It's nice to see the ducks actually coming over to this side of the water now, though. So fingers crossed they might come just a little bit closer. The swan just came right over to me again. That's the third time he's come over to me. And because I had my 2x teleconverter on, I was just right on the eye of the bird. So I was trying to get some interesting shots, some really close-up shots. I don't know if anything came out or not. The wood ducks were staying pretty far away still, and the blue-winged teal kind of came out and crept out to the opening. I was able to get some video of them. They're not close enough to get any photos, but with video I'm able to use the 2x extender and even use the internal teleconverter as well and have some really nice results for video. But for photo, it's just, there's too far away. So we'll just kind of wait and see. This is also definitely a capable camera for video as well. You're able to do the 4K, and you're able to do a lot of different frame rates, so I'm able to get some slow motion video as well on it, which is really nice, something I really love about the Z9. The only thing with the Z6III is when you do 4K 120 frames per second, you end up in crop mode, which isn't a huge deal, but it is nice to have that full frame option with the Z9. You're also able to go really super slow motion on this, which I haven't tried out yet, and I'm eager to try it out. I also really like that when you start recording video, you have that red box around the screen, so it's just a nice thing that you can just quickly see and make sure that you actually are recording video, because there are times when I think I hit the record button and I actually didn't, so it's nice to have that red box on there. Just a visual confirmation that I'm actually doing what I need to do. Another thing for video is I love that I now can use shutter angle on this instead of shutter speed for video mode. I do that a lot because it's so much easier to have that mode, because when I'm switching between different frame rates, I don't have to remember, oh, I need to increase my shutter speed to match the frame rate that I'm shooting in now. Now I can just set it to the 180 degrees, which is setting for what it needs to be for all the different frame rates. So that's really nice. Now there are some things that I wish this camera had. One of them being the specific bird detect mode. It has the animal detect mode, but it doesn't have the option for specifically birds. Supposedly this is something that's going to be coming in the future in firmware updates, so that's hopeful. But I have found and have noticed that when you just have the animal detect, there are times when it doesn't necessarily lock on the animal as well. You might end up having it lock onto the background, specifically for when I'm photographing waterfowl. A lot of times if the background's kind of busy with reeds, it'll actually get confused a little bit and lock on the background or the foreground in the water. But I did notice that if the duck is larger in frame, it doesn't have to be huge in frame, but if it's larger in frame and it's easier to recognize that it's a bird, it will do a good job locking on that bird, and it will actually lock onto the head and the eye. So it is definitely capable. It's just not as good as the Z9, but that's again not something I'd expect because this is a lower model camera. And again, I did notice that when I made the ducks larger in frame, specifically when I put the teleconverter on, because the duck stayed pretty far away from me, it just increased the magnification, and the autofocus did a much better job of locking on to the duck. Even with the teleconverter engaged, it did a very nice job of locking on there. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up today. There's less clouds now than there was earlier, so I don't think it's gonna cloud up like it was supposed to. And the ducks are just staying really far away. But it was really nice to be out today. It's a really nice spring day. Got to see some species I've never seen before. The blue-winged teal I've never been able to photograph before, so it was a really nice encounter and experience. And maybe I'll be able to get some more photos of them before they fly off and head farther north, but we'll see. Thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed. It was really nice to be able to use the Z6III for some bird and wildlife photography. That's a nice lightweight system and definitely useful system compared to the Z9. So yeah, that'll be it. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.